What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Investing Pros live show. It is so good. It feels like forever since we've had one of these. And in fact, it has been. It's been about 6 days since the last Investing Pros live show. But hey, happy Thanksgiving. And guess what? For all of you guys out there who bought before Black Friday, we got some pumpers in the market this week. And I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. We're going to take a look at the charts and look at some things, but altcoin season. Remember a couple of weeks ago when I told you I thought the first week of December would be when we saw altcoin season happen? Well, it looks like we have some details right now that are confirming that the altcoin season is starting. Chainlink and XRP, two of the big leaders in that category, but there's so many more pumping. Stay around for the entire episode. You do not want to miss a single bit of it because we got a lot of conversations. Even what is wrong with Solana right now? As altcoin season starts, Solana slipping. Is that the end of the Solana run? Do not go anywhere. Smash the like, hit subscribe, but first, we got to roll the intro. T-shirt, it's been so long since we did a show. I forgot to get the chat up and going before we started, but I'm working on that right now during the intro. How are you doing today, my friend?
Oh, Tim, I am doing better than I deserve. Here in America, our tummies are full of turkey, or at least they were a couple of days ago. And, man, it's just been amazing time with family, and it's only going to get better as it seems like these altcoins are finally waking up. Even though some of the oldest dinosaur coins out there waking up and pumping to the upside. Tim, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It was a great week. You know, I missed our crypto family. It does feel like I unplugged for a little bit. I checked on prices. I would check Discord from time to time, but I got to unplug, spend some time with family members I haven't seen in over a year, played 2 rounds of golf, which I haven't played in like 5 years. That was a lot of fun. My Virginia Tech Hokies kicked the crap out of our rivals, the Virginia Cavaliers. Your Florida Gators kicked the crap out of Florida State. Then again, everyone this season is kicking the crap out of Florida State. So it's not the biggest accomplishment in the world. But you know, it's just really hard to complain about how this last weekend went. So many reasons to be grateful and thankful.
That's right.
But again, all of that coming back into the crypto world, things are going berserk right now. Let's just transition here. Let's go into the bubbles. Put in chat, what was your favorite part about your Thanksgiving week or / weekend? Even if you're not in the United States, you didn't celebrate Thanksgiving, put it in there anyway. Oh, look, Crux has popped up right there. Oh, a little tidbit. We were going to hide that for later. But, you know, hey, Crux is here. Oh, no, he's gone. Never mind. Forget you ever saw Crux. That's going to be a surprise for later. Don't tell anyone. Shh. We got some good big green bubbles here. Now there's a world of red here on the daily chart, but if I were to click on the weekly, yeah, there we go. Look at that sea of green. Sea of green here in the weekly chart. But let's focus on the daily. H-bar. Well, H-bar pretty much did all of its pumping within the last 24 hours. Oh, never mind. 100%. Never mind. Okay. It did half of its pumping here in the last 24 hours. We might have time to check out the H-bar. We have so much information to talk about in today's show. If we don't talk about H-bar today, I promise you we'll take a look at it tomorrow, unless tomorrow's news is just like crazily out of control. But H-bar looks like one of the big movers. It's technically not the biggest gainer because Kaya over here is up 53.8%. But let's take a look at some other big ones, especially since these ones are top ranked coins. XRP. Have you guys heard of this coin? It's doing pretty well here recently, you know, up almost 30% today. Oh yeah, it's now the number 3 ranked cryptocurrency on Coin Market Cap over here, jumping both Solana and Tether. Actually, was it below BNB when we left last time? Did it jump above BNB, Solana, and Tether all the way up here? Big detail. Look at the market cap at $157 billion. We're not going to have time to do this today. I have to do an update to my XRP price prediction. We're going to talk more about it later, but maybe tomorrow or the next day, I'm going to redo our XRP price prediction with some updated details and numbers and deep things that you want to look at. So if you see our old XRP price prediction, throw it out, throw it in the trash. We got to redo that sucker because XRP is hot. But let's keep going. What else is up here? Link Link is finally moving up 27, almost 30% itself. Litecoin is up. Flare, Quant, IOTA, Cardano squeaking in over here, up 11%. VeChain up 14%. All of this, T-Shroom, because if we go over here, this XRP. Oh, thank you for not showing that because now I want to go to this. It's because of this chart right here. Look at this bearish chart. Look at all of these blue candles. On my chart, that means bearish. That means sell off. Do you guys know what this chart is? Well, if you look at the top left corner, you're going to see it very easily. It's the Bitcoin dominance chart. Remember, I told you guys that we would get above 60%. I did think that we were going to get closer towards 61, 63. That's out. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this now. That's out. Why? Because you guys see this rising blue line right here. That was the line I told you if we broke below that, that more than likely would be the sign that altcoin season was here. Why did I say that? Well, if you zoom out, this has been the trend line since back in June of 2023. We've had several pullbacks where people were saying, oh, Tim's crazy for predicting 60% dominance. Look at how far back we pulled. We bounced off of this trend for a long time. But this fall, not this fall is in the season. This fall is in this collapse on the chart, has broken us down below that support level. We are now back down below it. I believe people even said if you were to pull up SMAs, there you go. See that purple line? That's the 200 SMA, another line that we have not sustained a loss below. We broke below it a little bit back in January of 24, briefly, but we have not really significantly been below this line since back in December of 2022. Do you guys remember what December or the end of 2022 was? That's right. It was the bottom of the bear market. This is a moving average. We have not been below since the bottom of the bear market. And now we are making some serious moves to break below it. That is part of what happens during this bull market. It happens when Bitcoin goes on a fresh run to start the bull market and then starts to taper back. It doesn't mean Bitcoin price is going to collapse. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin price action here in just a couple of minutes, but it does mean it's time for the alts to go nuts, to go crazy. And not everything's going exactly as I predicted it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys I had the crystal ball, and if you had just listened to every word I said, you would have been perfect. No, there are some things about this that are a little different. First of all, I thought after we, again, watched it explode past 60%, I thought we were going to make a move up above 62%. Didn't happen. I also told you guys, and this isn't technically over, but I also told you guys there was a good chance Bitcoin would end up pulling back between 15 to 20%. These are my two zones I was keeping an eye on. Well, guess what we ended up doing? We pulled back to 90,000, which was a nice little support level, formerly resistance. But we're now making a move back to the upside. I'm not thinking that Bitcoin's literally about to explode and go to the upside, but I'm kind of thinking I was too aggressive when I said previously during alt season starts, Bitcoin ends up having itself a nice 30% pullback. It happened back here. Put that tool in the wrong spot. It happened back here in January of 2021, 30% pullback there on Bitcoin. It also happened back here in March of 2017. This was the altcoin season back February, March of 2017. It pulled back 34%. I told you guys I didn't think it was going to pull back 30%. I thought I was being conservative, cutting those numbers in half and saying 15. Maybe it goes to 20, but 15 was my number I really liked. Well, it turns out, guys, it really only needed 10%. We only pulled back about 10% to start off this alt season, and it looks like that 90K is picking up some momentum. We're going to talk about some news here in just a couple of minutes that we're watching. But yeah, it didn't even go 10%. It went 9.3% to the downside, and it does look like this time that 90,000 has turned into some strong support. With that said, we are still watching the fact that we had a sell signal on the daily chart from a couple different areas, and we have a take profit suggested level here still around $87,000, $85,000. That's still on the table. With the 2 daily chart, you still have the higher end of this. 84 is in play. But with how we bounced here at 90K and the fact that alts are already running the way they are, we do need to prepare ourselves. Shroom, Crux, everybody in here listening, all of you guys watching from your homes, we do need to prepare ourselves for the potential that 90K might have been all that we're going to drop down to. Not saying that for certain. Of course, we set a lower high right here more recently, so we still could drop down here. But we've done this time last cycle. It was not quite 4-year cycle. It's technically like a 3-year, 11 or 10 month cycle. we were dropping pretty significantly. We were dropping continuously. This bounce up might have meant 10% was all we wanted to correct. And I want to make sure we're clear here. I also told you guys, if anyone's sitting here saying, Tim, I sold all my Bitcoin and I am waiting for 85,000 to buy back in. Did I make a mistake? We told you guys so many times, this does not mean sell your Bitcoin. It means swap your Bitcoin, in which case you're definitely not too late on that one either. Swap some of your Bitcoin, not all of it, into some of these altcoins that we're going to run. But do not sell. In fact, I want to go out on a limb here. In your trading portfolio during a bull market, feel free to take profits and go buy and lower and all this other stuff. And sometimes you make a mistake, you have to buy a little higher. That's fine. But in your long-term portfolio, do not sell until you think the bull market is over or very close to being over. I don't think anybody thinks the bull market is about to be over unless they are a super-powered bear. And right now, those super-powered bears are just wrong about everything, so don't listen to them at the moment. But this was not a suggestion to sell. It was a suggestion to swap. And some of the coins that we told you guys to not be sleeping on, we have been pounding the drum saying, do not listen to the narrative pushed. Do not just listen to people who pay attention to the hottest coin at the moment and neglect all the old ones. We told you, do not sleep on XRP. We told you, do not sleep on Cardano. We told you, do not sleep on Chainlink. We told you, do not sleep on a bunch of these older coins. And guess what is popping off? It seems like the OGs are the ones who are popping off. All those same coins that literally a month ago were boring and everyone thought were dead and gone. We never gave up on them here on the Investing Bros channel. In fact, we told you be prepared to transition some of your Bitcoin profits into those coins. Did anyone listen? Anyone else get a major pump? I know I did. I know Shroom did. I know a lot of people here in our memberships did, but hopefully you guys here on YouTube did as well. If not, I want to comfort you. It's not too late. Alt season is just getting started. It doesn't mean it's over. It doesn't mean that altcoins are done. Altcoins, Bitcoin, all of them are going to go up exponentially from here. We're just getting going. There's still time to transition, but I want to make sure we temper expectations of where things can go because literally 2 weeks ago, a lot of these coins still had 10 to 20 X's left in them. But since that time, a lot of them have gone up over or around 100%, meaning that they've 2x'd in the last couple of weeks. That seriously diminishes how many gains you can have going forward. So we want to make sure that we select which coins we invest in at the right time and the right place to make sure we maximize our future potential gains. We're going to talk more about that later on in the show. Is it time to buy XRP? Is it time to buy Cardano or Chainlink or Solana? What is the best buys right now? Stick around to the end. We will cover all of that and more. But T-Shroom, I'm going to throw it to you. We're getting to some news here. How are you feeling about Bitcoin right now? Are you thinking we go a little lower? Do you think 90K was the pullback to start the altcoin season we needed? Or do you think that we're getting a little bit of that? You know, we do see a lower high in place. Do you still think 85 is on the table here?
I want to be conservative and say 85 is still on the table. That is my hunch. I've been feeling a little bit bearish today as I'm looking around the landscape. You know, there's got to be a slowdown at some point. And we have seen, you know, we're now on our second red candle, what could be our second red weekly candle for Bitcoin. We just printed a red candle last week. Mm-hmm. So, you know, things are slowing down. And I do think that we'll get a retest lower, whether it be 90 or 85. I'm not sure. When you hear that at home, does that make your heart race? That could mean that you are improperly risk managing. If you hear 90 or 85 and you're like, whoa, for Bitcoin, like that's very, very normal, very much in the cards. Be very careful. If you're feeling emotional when I say that, that means you're probably not prepared for Bitcoin's price to get down to those levels. I know I certainly am because I'll be buying those levels. I'm waiting for a Bitcoin pullback, and I haven't seen a steep enough one yet.
You know, I'll tell you, we're about to get into a story. It's very bullish long term, but this story could explain why a pullback still needs to happen. And the story is, you're going to go into details, but Michael Saylor, you correct me, he either had talks or is about to have talks with Microsoft. Mm-hmm. Now, something to be aware of, you're going to tell us some of the details, but this is going to be very bullish. If Microsoft ends up buying Bitcoin, this is amazing for Bitcoin, for crypto, for all of us, right? But there's a chance that if Microsoft wants to get in, they want to get in after maybe a little bit of a pullback. That's saying when the whales miss the boat, when the institutions miss the boat, they bring the boat back. I don't think they can bring the boat back to 50. I don't think they're bringing it back to 60 or 70. I think they could bring it back to 85, 80K. But let's get the details there. Michael Saylor talking to Microsoft is no small piece of information. What are the details? What do people need to know about here?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is Michael Saylor's 3-minute presentation to the Microsoft Board of Directors and the CEO, Satya Nadella, over there at Microsoft, articulating why the company should do the right thing and adopt Bitcoin. This is a 3.5-minute video, so we're not going to play it here. But obviously, Bitcoin bulls have welcomed this and have anticipated this. We reminded you all, if you were tuning in, if you were a Microsoft holder in the United States, you can vote for this assessment to go through. Now, you're not voting for them to pick up Bitcoin, right? But this is momentum in the positive direction that Microsoft may pick up Bitcoin.
Right.
It's definitely not confirmed as of yet. But when you get Microsoft speaking to your board, when you get Michael Saylor speaking to your board, that's a sure sign that the dominoes are starting to fall in the direction of bullishness for your company, for Bitcoin price, and for your Bitcoin bags at home. But it doesn't stop there, because Michael Saylor is putting his money where his mouth is. He's not just telling others to buy Bitcoin. MicroStrategy has acquired 15,400 Bitcoin for $1.5 billion with a B dollars at 95,976 per Bitcoin, and has achieved Bitcoin yield of 38.7%. This gets into a lot more details here, but it is absolutely crazy. They bought another 1.5 after buying a historic, I think it was 5.6 billion worth of Bitcoin last week. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments what was the actual number.
Yeah,
it's escaping my brain right now.
I think it was 5.6. Yeah, they've been a lot of big purchases here recently,
which is insane, especially right on the heels of a $4.6 billion purchase, I think 3 weeks ago. So, they're obviously not trying to hide their cards here of what they're attempting to do. They're trying to buy as much Bitcoin as humanly, corporately possible, and they're doing a good job of it. So that's the long and short of one of the biggest bullish whales in the space, which is Michael Saylor over at their MicroStrategies. If they can flip Microsoft into Bitcoin bulls, I can't even tell you how bullish that's going to be, because it's going to send FOMO into the biggest companies out there. And I've actually got this new, usually I pull up company market cap. This is a different one. This is asset market cap. You can see all the different asset classes by market cap. So real estate is 455 trillion globally. I assume this is globally. And then you have oil. You come all the way down, you skip past gold, natural gas, entire currencies. Then you come to Apple, Nvidia, and Microsoft. And Bitcoin's down here at number 20. But what I'm trying to illustrate to you is how much money, how much value Microsoft and other corporations in its ilk, in its peer group, are sitting on. They are not far from being as valuable as oil and real estate themselves, right? So it's or at least they're on the same list. So could some of that cash flip out of dollars, out of treasuries, and flip into Bitcoin? It absolutely could, and I think it will.
Yeah, I think that this is something to keep an eye on. I think that we could make our way well up that list by the time this bull market is over. Again, we have a prediction on this channel that by this time next year, we could be sitting around, I think, 3 trillion was my number that we had for Bitcoin's market cap. But there's others out there saying that we could get our way by the time of 2028, which would accelerate this a lot. By 2028, we could see the same market cap that gold has currently. So it wouldn't necessarily pass gold by then, but up there at 15, 17. I think is it 17 trillion right now for gold?
According to this assetmarketcap.com, it's 17.8 trillion. Yeah. A lot of dough.
A lot of money. A lot of guacamole flowing into Bitcoin. I'll tell you that.
Right.
I'll tell you, if we end up getting anywhere close, I don't think, I'm trying to make sure I say this correctly, and we got to put a lot more thought to this, right? So I'm just kind of spitting off the cuff here. I would be surprised if Bitcoin at that time is not like 70 to 80% dominance. Like, I don't see crypto market cap as a whole getting all the way up above 30 trillion. Now, what it would take to do that, it would take, a lot of people, we're going to talk about this later. We're going to talk about XRP later. We're going to talk about Link later. It would take all these coins to stop doing this thing. It's like, oh, this coin's going to kill this coin, and this coin's going to kill this coin. No, it would take the Ethereums, the XRPs, the Solanas, the Chainlinks, the Cardanos, the AVAXs, all to be massive, massive investments, right? I'm talking about multiple of those having at least $1 trillion market caps, if not higher. The others being close to it. If we can get multiple $1 trillion cryptos, then yes, 30 trillion is doable. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how that one plays out. My portfolio would love to see a $30 trillion market cap for crypto.
Indeed.
It's a little rich at the moment for my taste, but I would love to see it.
Yeah,
I would love to see it. Let's go ahead and transition here. We got more stories coming in here.
That's right.
Coinbase is in the headlines today. It's not just Microsoft maybe on the verge of buying Bitcoin. Coinbase doing some things to acquire more Bitcoin and crypto transactions in partnership with Apple Pay. T-Shroom, what's happening over there?
Coinbase now allows users to purchase cryptocurrency with Apple Pay. That's right. And those of you who have an Apple device are going to be very familiar with Apple Pay, either because you use it or because they won't stop sending you ads to use it. But it's very seamless. I use it whenever I go to the grocery store, pay with a credit card. It's very, very easy. And now Coinbase is making it even easier for Apple users to purchase cryptocurrency. And it's not just Bitcoin. Coinbase has a lot of different cryptos, so that's very good. But it's not all bullish, Tim. There is a somewhat bearish narrative out there, story that's floating around. You could some may say it's not bearish at all, some may say it's neutral, but the US government moved almost $2 billion in Bitcoin to a new address. This is according to Arkham, who tracks the on-chain data. It's real. It does look like this has been verified. Doesn't necessarily mean it's bearish, but Tim, what comes to mind when you see headlines like this?
Yeah, there's two things. Number one, this doesn't guarantee the government is going to sell anything, right? So let's before we freak out, let's pump the brakes. Now there are some, without getting too political here, because we just spent so many months being political, and we're gonna have to stay political for a little while, but we're gonna try to minimize as much as possible. There have been some fishy moves from the Biden administration here recently. I'm sure a lot of you guys saw he's pardoning his son, Hunter Biden, and which gets very complicated. Republicans are going to say, "Oh, how dare he? I thought no one was above the law." Then it's like, well, if you were a dad and your son, what dad wouldn't pardon their son? I am of the opinion. I do think. I'll say this and then we'll move on. I'm okay with him pardoning his son, as long as everybody's also okay with Trump pardoning January 6ers. I think that you're going to have some balance there when you look at this issue of president's pardoning. That being said, there's some other things he's doing with Ukraine that I think are a little fishy. What's happening with the Biden administration as he closes out his last couple of days, I'm not really certain. But let's not get ahead of ourselves and say this definitely means he's selling Bitcoin. But let's pretend it does mean that. Let's pretend for a minute that this is we're about to sell $2 billion worth of Bitcoin. Donald Trump is going to buy it right back. Donald Trump and his administration, the team he's building of extreme pro-Bitcoin members, they're going to not only hold what the government currently has, they're going to add to it. In fact, again, I would love to see Senator Loomis's bill get passed and the government take on the concept of starting to move some of their gold holdings into Bitcoin. But as a whole, what is my response to this? I think it's going to be a nothing burger. Even if worse comes to worst and he ends up selling some of this Bitcoin, I believe Trump and the next administration is going to buy it right back. So not necessarily something I'm freaking out about. Real quickly, checking with chat here. Cosmic says, can we not super chat? For some reason, T-Shroom, did it turn stuff off there again? If it did that, I apologize, everybody. This has happened to us before where things will not let us super chat. Let me click.
It's just
it does
weird.
not.
Yeah, sometimes, so we'll just have to go back in and enable that for the rest of the week's streams. Apologies. I know you all are clamoring to leave us super chats, so we'll have to do that again some other time. But you might be sitting there wondering, okay, well, what if they did sell this amount of Bitcoin, just under 2 billion or around 2 billion? What would it look like? Well, we actually saw, if you go back and you search Germany sells Bitcoin, they sold a similar amount. Back in mid-July, we were getting these headlines. So if you go back and look around that time, right here in around July, let me get off the weekly chart, go to the daily, get a little bit more granular of a view of this. Then you can see just how much we sold off. So in about mid-July here, it was about a sell-off of about 15%. I remember it well, right? So 15% from where we are today would still not be that bearish at all, right? It'd be about it would put us back down to around $80,000 per coin. Am I saying that that's going to happen? Absolutely not. What I'm saying is if the Biden administration decided to pull the trigger and sell all that Bitcoin, we could, that would create a demand, extreme sell and a lot of sell orders in a time where demand is staying the same. That would probably bring the price down to around there, around 80,000. Just quick back of the napkin math.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, that's pretty good. Again, that puts us at that lower range of the 85 to 80 we had talked about as the potential bottom position. Again, that also would be assuming nobody's buying in between those selling motions, right? So I still think it's probably slim chances of 80K, but I think I like that back of the napkin math is very cool. It turns out Super Chats must be working because Matt C sent one saying testing. So I don't know what's happening. Sometimes YouTube's a little finicky when it comes to these things. I don't think I was testing on my end. I don't know if no. Okay. I think something has changed because now I see Super Chats as an option. So maybe things got fixed. Maybe Crux went in and edited something. If so, thank you to Crux. That being said, let's transition here. We're about to transition because we talked about Bitcoin a lot, but we started that whole conversation off by saying that it very much looks like altcoin season has started. If you guys were not here, we showed you guys the Bitcoin dominance chart that has fallen below a key level of support. But before we get into the next topic, I want to remind everybody, it turns out they extended this. I guess we were wrong on this. Our sponsor, one of our biggest sponsors, is Lux Algo, and they have a major sell that is ending in about 11 and a half hours. Go to my screen here. Lux Algo right now is on massive sales. If you buy a whole year package right now, $18 a month for premium. But the one I'm telling you guys really need to get, spend the extra $3 a month. Just do it. Get Ultimate. We never push Ultimate packages, right? I always tell people I mostly use the premium. Here's why I'm going to push Ultimate. It's not so that we get an extra $3 a month out of you. In fact, we don't get an extra $3 a month. We only get some of the money that goes into it. It is because it comes with back testing and a new AI feature, which we are going to be showing on the channel very, very soon. I'm supposed to have a call to get the ins and outs of everything on how to use it, but some of you have already been playing with it and loving it. This AI feature allows you to type in trading strategies and back test them on any type of asset and any time frame so that you can understand the best ways to trade. It is like a cheat code of trading, and you have to have the Ultimate package. So go right now, spend about $252. $21 a month. Go get the Ultimate package using our link down below. And not only do you get a cheat code for trading, you get our VIP trading group if you join into our Discord and tell us your email that you used. You also get entered for a monthly $500 giveaway that we have at the end of every single month. There's so many reasons to go sign up right now with Lux Algo's Ultimate package today. If you don't want it, go with premium. That's going to give you the indicators. But for an additional $3 a month, you get AI, you get back testing. I don't know. That seems like a steal to me, T-Shroom. Seems like a steal to me. Go sign up with that link down below. Let's transition here into alt season talk. We're going to start off with one of our favorite coins here on the Investing Pros channel. In fact, we've been accused, T-Shroom, at least I have, of being a maxi of this coin. But it's doing very, very well right now. It's pumping as we are speaking. None other than Chainlink. We're going to go take a look at that chart here in just a couple of minutes. But first, let's start off on the news front because part of the reason why they're pumping right now is it's alt season. The other part is that they just formed a new collaboration. Again, we told you guys they are a major, major asset that institutions are going to be utilizing for the future of money transactions. T-Shroom, what's going on with Chainlink and this new partnership?
From their official Twitter account, they said, "We're excited to announce Europe's first tokenized securities trading and settlement system, 21X, is adopting the Chainlink standard. Price feeds will underpin 21X's trading engine, and CCIP will connect to assets across the on-chain economy." This is a pretty big get from Chainlink, as tokenization is one of the biggest narratives in crypto this cycle. I know that I have positioned my portfolio around tokenization specifically because that's what Wall Street's buying. That's what Wall Street's interested in. That's the pound of flesh that they see in this market right now, as these use cases in crypto are abundant. There's many, many different use cases, but tokenization does seem to be the one that has a lot of legitimacy to it. So, Tim, why don't we take a look at the charts and see how the price is reacting to this news and to the beginnings of altcoin season?
Absolutely. Let's go over here. You can see that Chainlink today has jumped pretty massively. I mean, today we started the day off below $19. We are currently trading just below 25, but in that process, we've set a new high for this cycle. That high we set back here in March of around 22, almost $23 has been broken. We are going to new highs. This was a major level of resistance we told you guys to keep an eye on. After this, there really is not going to be a whole lot stopping us. Technically a little bit here on $30, but not a lot's going to stop us from hitting this yellow box, a goal that we had for the end of the year price prediction for Chainlink. I think this might be one of the few that I've end of year price predictions I'm going to get right. Those are very hard predictions to give. A lot of coins have already hit the levels we predicted they would get to, but Chainlink looks like it's right on pace to get up here back to not the all-time highs, but highs we had back in November of 2021 here around $38. The top end of that would be the all-time highs around 52 that we set back in May of 2021. But my expectation is by January, we will be somewhere in this yellow box. Are we overextended right now? Heck, yes, we are. But it's not actually as massive as you would think. We're 100% overbought, but we just literally got there here today. The MACD is at extremely high levels, back to, higher levels than I've seen at least anytime recently. But guess what? The last time we did levels like this, it was back during the explosive move of the last bull market here on the daily chart with the MACD. When I look at the Luxago oscillator, we're very, very high, but we have just risen to levels we haven't been in a while. But we got bullish momentum. We have a red reversal, but we still have a lot of positive money flow. That, to me, screams that this flow is not over. Let's go to a higher time frame like the weekly chart and see what it is saying to us right now. Got a lot of room to the upside. We're 72% overbought, but we absolutely could make it to 100 before we slow down. Our money flow is going positive. This was a beautiful buy signal right back here, October 28th. Right there in October. Let's go to November 11th, actually. Let's go to November 11th when the money flow goes positive. But we had our green reversals. We had positive momentum. This money flow is going to the upside. There's a red reversal dot playing right now, but until we see the money flow turn back over to the downside, I would not look at that as being anything that's that serious. If I start to turn on Luxago indicators, we're hitting some of our take profit levels, but you can see right here, T-Shroom, see this red cloud, this red reversal cloud from Luxago? It has been sideways now ever since back on these highs in March. It is curving to the upside right now, meaning we're expanding back to the upside. I still, like I said, I think by end of year, sitting above $38 is not out of question whatsoever here for Chainlink. Got a lot of room to the upside. And again, this is going to be the levels of, we're now breaking the last major sell-off. We're having a little bit of pressure at 28, but look for $38. The highs again of November 2021. That's where people sold it back then. I imagine there's going to be a level of people who want to sell that again. Then we're going to keep pumping after we have a small pullback up above 50, and then on our ways to new all-time highs. It's still a coin that I think at the very least is making it up towards $200. I think it's very realistic, though, to get closer to 400 or 500, and if we get an extended bull market, 700 is still on the table. Chainlink just getting going in its bull market, but we are far from being over. T-Shroom, any thoughts on Chainlink before we transition into another very hot altcoin?
Well, a lot of people, have been getting impatient with Chainlink, saying, "Where's the pump?" As other coins like HBAR last week and XRP, as we'll get into here in just a second, have been pumping to the upside. Chainlink has been moving to the upside too, but just not as aggressively. Look, we are in a transition phase right now where a lot of big money has bought Bitcoin, right? And that has brought a lot of attention to the space. And now we are seeing big players in the market try to throw up their brand and their project and say, hey, we're the next Bitcoin, right? So right now is a very big and important moment where potentially if you don't get picked up now, you might miss the train of the altcoin season, right? Or at least that's the feeling in the crypto space right now. Chainlink is not a coin to be worried about. It's not a coin that will win or lose based on hype. It's going to win or lose based on, can it get contracts with very big institutions to settle big transactions or move data from Web 2 to Web 3. That's what's going to win or lose for Chainlink. Whereas with a lot of, especially this is illustrated well with meme coins, right? Those win and lose by how well they do marketing and get folks to buy into those coins. So patience is key. Chainlink is moving today. We're seeing it, and it's off of real, actual news. So I'm bullish on Chainlink. Definitely not selling it. And it's not being taken out of my DCA strategy anywhere near. So
And
very, very bullish.
as we transition here, because again, the coins we're talking about today, I want to preface this. These were coins that literally about a month ago, people were complaining about, saying, I've been holding this coin for so long and it's not doing anything. Is it time to just go ahead and get out of this? I see all these other projects just taking off, and my holdings in Chainlink and XRP and Cardano and all these others, they're not doing anything. Remember, we told you guys to not sleep on these coins, to not judge them before alt season had its way with them first, right? This is exactly what we're seeing playing out. T-shirt, you know that we're not a channel. We are not the channel that's going to say, if you disagree with us, that you're an idiot, that we were right and you were wrong, yada yada boo boo. Like we're not the people. We're not the I told you so channel. What we are is very even-keeled, realistic, patient investors. That we aren't right about everything. In fact, I'm going to tell you guys as we get into this next topic, I was wrong about something with XRP. I'll explain this here in a second. Got to do an update to my price predictions with them. I was wrong to the downside. I was one of the few people that was still bullish in this space, and it turns out I wasn't bullish enough, and we're clearly seeing that happen right now. But at the end of the day, sometimes people need to understand that emotional trading will get you wrecked. Just because you feel a certain way in your stomach at one point does not mean that is actual facts. Just because you see a lot of hotheads on the internet claiming a narrative is a way that it is, doesn't mean that they're 100% right. Do your due diligence on them. Do they have some sort of bias or leaning as to why they're saying what they're saying? At the end of the day, though, we told you guys here on this channel, do not sleep on Chainlink, and Chainlink now is popping off. We told you, don't sleep on Cardano. We're not going to talk about Cardano that much today, but Cardano's been popping off. But one of the biggest ones, there was a huge move in the space that says XRP is done. It is dead. It's not going to make it. It is the worst coin out there. And yet, going to my screen here, XRP finds itself up at the number 3 spot on CoinMarketCap. Not just number 3 crypto, because sometimes I just like to take out Tether and USDC and say, let's just talk about the crypto coins as a whole. It is number 3, jumping here recently, BNB, Solana, and Tether. It currently has an $156 billion market cap, putting it up at number 3 on the list. Again, tomorrow, I'm going to give you guys an update to those price predictions. This is just absolutely crazy, but this is what I'm talking about right here. This is the time period. Everyone looked in here. Everyone said I was crazy back here in July 2023 when I said, hey, guys, it's not time yet for XRP to break out. It's going to correct. People thought I was crazy. Sure enough, we corrected back down even lower than I thought. But then we got into this consolidation phase, and people were getting very upset with XRP, saying this project was dead. They'd been lied to. They got to get out of it. And I told you guys, look at the history. Look at the suppression and the consolidation that's happening. When this project bursts, it's going to go nuts. In fact, I told T-Serum, we don't go back and like clip our videos. Again, we're not the I Told You So channel. But the OGs will remember this. I told you guys, this would probably be like 6 months ago. I said there will be a day, a week, maybe even a month that people will go nuts about XRP. They will claim it's the greatest cryptocurrency ever. They're going to start doing all these things. It's going to pop off like a firecracker, and people are going to get super excited. I said all this. Now, I didn't think it was going to make surpass the highs of 2021. Go back to my screen here. These highs right here around 196, 197. I didn't think we were going to break through that this fast. So I wasn't bullish enough on it. But I told you guys there would be a time period where XRP would blow up. It would break this resistance and it would go crazy. And sure enough, I'm 100% right. But this is what transitions us into some conversation we need to have, some realistic, let's come back down to earth. Let's not get overly excited. In the same breath, it was foolish a month ago to say that XRP was dead and wasn't going to do anything. I need to sell all my bags, right? Let's just be honest. Hindsight's 2020, but we told you that was a foolish move. If you were selling your XRP, that was foolish. I don't know how to put it other than saying the word foolish. In the same breath, there are some things being spread out right now on the internet that I also believe are foolish. And it's the exact opposite. All of a sudden, the new rumblings of XRP going berserk and possibly even passing Ethereum are starting to pick up a lot of steam. And I want to make sure it's clear. It's not a 0% chance of it, right? So it's a non-0% probability that XRP surpasses Ethereum in this bull market. But let's just be very real here. Going back to my screen, $156 billion for XRP. Amazing. Where is Ethereum? Ethereum is at 436 billion, and Ethereum's been underperforming. Now it's coming back to life. It's a big reason. XRP and Ethereum are two of the big reasons right now that Bitcoin dominance is falling and altcoin season is starting. Right? So I want to give XRP their flowers. They deserve them. But even if Ethereum stayed still and XRP did another 2x above $5, going up towards $5.50, all right, which, by the way, is something to keep an eye on. Even if that happened, it still would not match the market cap of Ethereum. Now, we had a long bull market. Again, I'm not saying it's a 0% probability here. But Ethereum, when it gets going, just like I told you guys, hey, guys, don't sleep on XRP. It's going to make some moves. Hey, guys, don't sleep on Cardano. It's going to make some moves. Hey, guys, don't sleep on AVAX. Don't sleep on Chainlink. Don't sleep on Polkadot. Don't sleep on... There were so many coins we told you do not sleep on. Just because it's not exciting right now doesn't mean it won't be excited later. And that's exactly what XRP is a good example of. Ethereum, even though we've broken out a little bit more here recently, still underperforming what it really is going to do. Do not take recent price bias, take recent price explosion, and say, oh, wow, XRP, it is up. Let's just do the math on this. It is up 460% from where it was literally about a month and some change ago. That, my friends, makes it not the greatest coin to invest in right now. It makes you brilliant if you invested in it a month ago. It makes you, if you're holding it, I'm not telling you to even sell it. But right now, if you have $1,000, $10,000, $5,000, whatever you have, and you're saying, what coin should I be investing in right now? Back off. Back off on the hype on XRP. I'm not saying don't be bullish. I'm not saying don't own any. I'm not saying this thing's about to collapse and go back down to zero. That's absolutely not happening. I think XRP legitimately could maintain a top 5 ranking throughout this entire bull market just because of a revenge tour that's on right now. But this is a coin that when you have a run like this ends up pulling back. And it's how you get the things that we're seeing happen right now is how you hear those terms. Retail somehow always buys the tops and sells the bottoms. So why do they do that? Because retail buys with their emotions. A month ago at the bottom, retail was selling. Why? Because their emotion said this coin sucks. Right now, this coin is on fire and their stomach is telling them to buy. That's what tells me that we're probably getting somewhat close to a local top. If you guys don't know what the word local top means a temporary pause in price action. Similar to what Bitcoin did at $99,860. It hit a temporary top, pulled back down to 90,000, still could pull back down towards 85,000. It just means that it's the explosive rally that's happening has to at some point come to a close, the price cools off, and then things go to the upside. But it's going to transition us into the next topic. And I want to bring Crux up for this here in a second. But we're transitioning into a big topic that people are talking about right now, and is that we just saw XRP pass Solana. We're watching a lot of the OG coins, and I'm talking about the Cardanos and the XRPs and the Chainlink. We're seeing these coins that were created a long, long time ago have a really good run. And 1 month ago, people sat up here. Crux remembers this. Tisha remembers this. People across the internet sat up here and said, get out of the dinosaur coins. Only buy the new things. Only buy the Solana and the Solana meme coins and buy the Ondos. Well, guess what's happened in the last month? All these OG dinosaur coins have gone this way. And Solana has gone this way. So this poses a question I see all across the internet, and I want to get Crux's take on this. But is Solana's reign as the special cryptocurrency, is Solana's amazing bull market coming to a close? Is XRP putting Solana to sleep right now, or something else happening? Crux, our fundamental expert here on the Bros channel, what do you think about this? What are your thoughts right now as you're watching XRP and Solana move in absolutely opposite directions?
Yeah, real quick, Tim. So Virginia Tech you gave them a shout out. Florida Gators got their shout out. So I have to give my shout out to the Longhorns. Hook 'em horns. If you like the Longhorns, go ahead and throw one in chat. Okay. All right. So with Solana, Matthew Singer, one of the OG bros in our community, stated that this is a retest for the all-time high. In 2021 November, we pushed to $250, right? This bull market, we finally overtook that, set in a new all-time high. And typically when cryptos get back to their all-time high, they like to retest it. So we're seeing a pullback, and we're seeing these other these legacy cryptos pump, which is perfectly healthy, right? Mm-hmm. And I believe that this is a good opportunity to start DCAing into Solana if you do not have any. That being said, let me go ahead and explain why. So if you want to share my screen, T-Shroom. So Solana is the number 2 crypto behind Ethereum in total value locked, right? Now, the use cases are completely different with these legacy cryptos that have been popping off, right? So if I go into the Solana ecosystem, I see over 8 billion in total value locked, right? But the thing is, we see a lot of these meme coins, Peanut, Dog with Hat, Moodang, Bonk, etc., right? And then if I go to these ISO tokens, which are the ones that have been popping lately, XRP, Cardano, Quant, Algorand, Stellar, the use cases are completely different. Now going back to Solana, we're looking close to almost 9 billion total value locked, and we're at all-time highs with the total value lock and the price itself. So I do think that, this is completely healthy, this pullback that we're seeing. I think it's a good opportunity to pick some up. And then one project we have been talking about here on Investing Bros for a while now is Radium. Radium's currently the 4th biggest project in terms of TVL on Solana. And that being said, Jupiter has started to slowly take the lead. And I do think that it is a good, an actual better opportunity to pick up Jupiter, which is something that I'm switching up now. So Radium, I've been talking about here for almost a year now, when it was almost $1, and currently I think it's sitting closer to $6 at this point. But so Jupiter's starting to take that lead. Whenever I see Solana as an ecosystem doing well, I like to look for that number 1 DEX opportunity, or AMM, such as Jupiter. And then also, lastly, with Radium, we're pushing almost $3 billion a day in spot trading volume, which is absolutely insane. You're talking about more volume being traded on Radium, which is the biggest mover of liquidity on Solana, than Ethereum's Uniswap play, which is insane. Now, that being said, Uniswap it's a huge ecosystem. There's way more than just Ethereum built on Uniswap. But that being said, Radium is here to play, Jupiter's here to play, and Solana, I think it's a good opportunity to start picking up some Solana.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. I think this is, Crux is bringing up, he's talking about all the fundamental reasons, right? Some investors, you guys are sitting here saying, I don't really care about the fundamentals. I don't care about the details of what this, I'm not planning on building anything on any of these projects. I just want to make money. Well, guess what? Price is downstream of fundamentals. Why is what Crux talking about so important? Because it tells us the life of the coin, right? We can all look at a chart right now. Let's go to my chart here, T-Shroom. We can all look at this daily chart and say, wow, over the last 2 weeks, where everything else was pumping, Solana had a great start to November, but it ended with this slump. And the fact is, the slump might not be over on Solana. I'll talk about that more in a second. But people are looking at the price action, and they're saying, oh, this doesn't look good. Oh, this looks like a coin that might be in trouble. Okay? We'll get there in the charts in a second. The question is the coin actually dead? Is the coin fundamentally not a good project anymore? And what Crux just went through, if you want me to just give you the summarized answer for all of our crypto nerds out there, and I love all you guys who want the numbers and the details. You guys love what Crux just did. For my investors out there, let me translate it. Solana is far from dead. Solana is a great chain. Solana is a chain that has pumped for years now and is cooling off. But just because everything else is pumping and Solana is falling behind does not make it a dead project. In fact, as Crux just said, it makes it the best opportunity to invest right now. And I'm not saying best in terms of everything, but let's just talk about the two. Let's just talk about the 2 coins. XRP going nuts right now, and Solana pulling back right now. I have $1,000 to invest in a project, and I'm really narrowed it down to those 2. Which one am I buying? My stomach, if I'm a brand new investor, says buy the coin that's hot. Buy the XRP. Fade the coin that's going down the stretch. That's Solana. But realistically, and this is what a lot of institutions or whales are going to start doing, they're going to start looking for which coin has the best deal. Which coin could I possibly invest in right now and get the greatest return on my money over the next couple of months? I'm not saying this is going to be the case for the whole bull market. I think XRP could go up a lot higher than it currently is. But if you're telling me, especially over the next couple of months, which one's the hotter coin to look at right now and to buy, I'm looking at the coin that's been slumping. Why? Because I went and looked at the fundamentals with Crux, and I said, is this coin dead? The answer is no. What it is doing is correcting a healthy correction after its pullback. It is the coin that is preparing for a major buy level, whereas XRP, as we just showed you a couple of minutes ago, its chart is showing it's reaching some tops and probably wants to have some form of a pullback sooner than later. That doesn't mean that within now, the next 24 or 48 hours, that we're going to see XRP drop and Solana go up. In fact, I think when we're looking at the XRP chart, you can make a very good argument that XRP might not slow down until reaching $3 or a little bit above. And if I go to my Solana chart right here, go ahead and show this one, T-Shroom. We got some major sell signals from Luxalgo on our oscillators, on the daily chart here a little bit ago, and we're touching the smart trail, the upper range of the smart trail right now here around $221. There's a chance this ends up being the bottom. I absolutely would, if I have dry powder and I want to add Solana to my bag, pick up a little bit right here. But I want to bring up this big order block down here, and people don't want to hear this. They don't want to see us go back down to $190. They don't want to talk about a pullback on an altcoin, one of their favorite altcoins coming back, again, 27, 30%, but that's normal for bull markets to have those pullbacks. We have a major, major bullish order block down here around 190. If I were to go to the 2-daily chart, we also saw major sell signals. We're seeing the smart trail come into the same region as well. There's a very real chance that within the next couple of days, we could see Solana go down and fall a little bit below 200. We could see XRP continue to climb a little bit. So I'm not saying necessarily right this second, you got to flip all your XRP profits into Solana. But I am saying, give it some time. Be patient. XRP is a great project. Solana is a great project. One of them's pumping and one of them's slumping. If you want to make it in this world of investing, you buy when there's blood in the streets. You take profit when the sentiment's at all-time highs. Like I don't have a tool right now. I think we're going to have one in the future that shows us fear and greed indexes. But on Bitcoin's fear and greed, go to my chart here, T-Shroom. We'll just do this for Bitcoin. We teach you all the time, you sell when you're deep in the green. You sell. Extreme greed means that everyone loves this project and they want to buy. That's when you sell. When everyone wants to buy, you sell. Why? Because that's what the whales are doing. When it comes over here into extreme fear, into the dark orange, that's when everyone's afraid. That's when everyone's saying, oh, this is not a good project right now. That's when you buy. And I guarantee you, if I could translate this chart to XRP, it is squarely in that dark green. It is probably close to 100 on the fear and greed index. And if I were to show you the same one over on Solana, I bet you it's sitting at or below 20. Which historically would be a great level to buy. Let's watch over the next 3-4 months. We'll go into March. Which coin early in December would have been a better coin to buy in XRP and Solana? And I can't guarantee anything, so I'm not going to pretend to guarantee. But I bet when it's all said and done, Solana between December 1st and March 28th, March 31st, we'll go to the end of the month. I bet you more people made more money on buying Solana than they did buying XRP. That's my thought on it. T-Shroom, you were a little silent there. Chime in a little bit there. XRP, Solana, what are your thoughts here?
Well, I'll make it short. Before we had any analysis, before we started planning the show for today, I bought Solana, right? And I don't buy a lot of Solana. I bought Solana today because I've been waiting for a freaking pullback, and we finally got it on Solana. Yeah. And it took like 2 or 3 other projects stealing the spotlight for Solana to finally get a pullback. That tells me just how strong this project is. Now, I'm not a huge fan of meme coins. A lot of why Solana is strong and why I believe it'll continue to be strong is because it seems to be the circus for meme coins. It's the tent post for that, right? Now, I don't have to love meme coins to know that I think Solana will continue to pump and now is a great buying opportunity. Now, what I will say is I didn't buy my full slug of what I want from Solana. I bought about a fourth, about 25% of what I want to allocate into Solana during this pullback. I agree with Tim that we could easily see Solana get back below 200 right now. Just jumping over to my screen, it hasn't been on the daily chart, hasn't spent much time below the midline of the Bollinger Band since all the way back here in early November 6th, right? So I think that there's quite a bit of downside exploration to do here for Solana, and we do get back into the golden pocket right around the low 200s. So 207 could potentially be support, but 200 could absolutely be in the cards with an oversold scenario with Solana. In fact, taking a look at this, I would say that it's probably not likely that we will get down to 200. More than likely, we'll find support on that golden pocket. How do I get the golden pocket? You'll have to tune in after the stream today to question and answer time with me, T Shroom, where I take you inside my mind when it comes to trading and investing. And we're going to talk about the crypto miners as well in Q&A. That happens right after the stream. So that's my take on Solana. I bought it this morning.
Very good stuff there. Crux, thank you so much for being on here. By the way, guys, we announced it last week, but Crux, you're going to see a lot more of him on a new channel. We're starting the Algo Bros. I don't know the exact start date. We'll post that here a little bit later.
Close enough.
What did I say? What did I do wrong?
Alpha Bros.
Alpha Bros.
Yeah. Oh, we changed the name like 10 times. We changed Alpha Bros. Alpha Algo Bros. The name might change again. He's gonna be doing a lot more of that analysis, like he just gave us. Again, price is downstream of fundamentals. If you guys are nerds who want to learn more about the fundamentals, and I say that in a very positive way, hopefully no one takes offense there. If you want to learn more about the fundamentals, you're absolutely going to want to subscribe and watch all the content that Crux puts out. It's a part of the Investing Bros family. Looking forward to that. Crux, thanks for coming on here today. We'll see you again next time. Thanks for having me, Tim. Really quickly, before we transition into our factoid of the day, and we're going to wrap up today's shows, people have been asking about SUI. SUI's in a very similar spot to what we were just talking about with Solana. Go to my screen here for a second. Zoom back in. SUI's been slipping, right? It was the hot coin back in September. It had its nice movements here early in November. It's slipping here a little bit. I think if you're looking at a potential buy, we're looking somewhere in the range of 270 down here towards 250. 250, 270 range on SUI. More than likely going to be a spot to look for a pullback. Again, this is all part of a higher high and higher low system of a bull market. It's just not the new coins. It's not the new kid on the block's time right now. All these new projects that just got created within the last year and some change, or Solana got like reinvented in the last year and some change, even though it existed back in 2021. Newer projects have been running like crazy. They're cooling off. Why? Because that's a part of the bull market. It's the dinosaurs' turn. They're pumping. They're rallying. But we are going to see pumps come back in because altcoin season is profitable for everybody. That includes all of your favorite altcoins out there. Check out SUI. Somewhere closer towards 270 is going to be a nice area to keep an eye on there. Let's go ahead and transition. We had a factoid, and then we're going to do we had a factoid. We have a super chat. And we're going to transition to our factoid. Our favorite guy who comes in here, and I can't say his name, really cool white boy. I was expecting a December pullback, and I sold some profits for some dry powder. Did I F up? Did you fun up? So.
No.
You didn't. You didn't. There will be some coins that drop. I want to make sure we're clear here. We told you guys that Bitcoin was going to pull back. We told you coins would cool off. We did not tell you to sell. We did not say to sell whatsoever. We said to swap. Swapping is when I take some profits from one coin that's been doing very well, and I transition into another coin that I expect to do very, very well. You didn't F up. We haven't gone so crazily out of control that it's over. Now, if you were hoping to buy XRP below $1, yeah, you missed that train. I don't think XRP is going back below $1. If you were hoping to buy Cardano below $1, I don't think Cardano is going back below $1. If you're hoping to buy Chainlink at $15, I think you missed the boat on that one. But if you're looking to add into more SUI or Solana or any of these other coins that have been cooling off, you're in a good spot right here. But I want to make sure people are clear here. While we don't give financial advice, and you guys ultimately get to do whatever you want to do with your money. If you're looking for wisdom, I will tell you what Tim is planning to do with Tim's money. Tim is not selling any of his crypto for quite a while, at least to the end of this year. I want to kind of see what happens. But more than likely, not until sometime 2026, because I think that this market is going to extend. You don't have to wait with me. Just understand what I'm going to say. It doesn't mean I won't make moves. It doesn't mean I won't swap things around. I might say, you know what? Bitcoin's really high right now. I want to take some of my Bitcoin, not all of it, but some of it, and transition it into Cardano because Cardano's not been pumping recently. Or all of a sudden now, XRP, with my bag of XRP, it's really, really high. I don't want to sell my XRP. I want to swap some of my XRP into a coin that's been down like a Solana or a SUI. And then guess what? When XRP pulls back and Solana goes on this really big run, now I'm going to swap it back over. This is the kind of stuff that you need to be looking at right now. When you hear a coin's overextended, that doesn't mean sell it. It means swap it. When a coin's overextended, swap it into something else that has better potential for gains in the short term. That is how you handle bull markets. Don't go turn it back into US dollars because you're going to miss out. But I'm also talking more experienced traders here. If you're brand new, if you're investing for the first time, take the ride. The volatility is a part of the game. Up and down and up and down and up and down is how you will eventually make money. You will learn how to buy those bottoms and sell those tops. But for now, choose your portfolio, make your breakdown happen, learn as you go, but don't try to get fancy with it. Don't listen to your gut feeling. Try to just ride the volatility and understand what it's like at the tops and what it's like at the bottoms. And then next cycle, you're going to be an expert. You're going to be prepared for it. You're going to understand the signs of what marks tops and what marks bottoms, and you'll be all the better for it. So with that said, that's the Tim financial, non-financial advice of the day.
Scientific advice.
My money. Scientific advice. T-Shroom, it's already 4 o'clock. That's okay, though. We have our factoid today, and we're going to wrap up today's show. I told you there's a lot of content to get through today.
Yes. Some True Meister said, thank you for that final note. You rock, Tim. So, all right, let's get into our factoid of the day, brought to you all by Decrypted.tax. If you're looking for professional crypto tax services, look no further than the link in the description for Decrypted.tax. Tim, this factoid was written by my mom. So this is interesting. We're deviating from the factoid elf today.
We fired the elf. Or no, he's just on vacation. He's still not back from Thanksgiving.
He has not woken up from his Thanksgiving slumber.
Okay.
All right. Who first spoke these words? A fool and his money are soon parted. Was it A, Billy Graham in his first sermon on the steps of the Capitol in 1952? Was it B, Dr. John Bridges in defense of the Church of England, 1587? Was it King Solomon, quoted in Proverbs? Or, Tim, was it D, Elon Musk on X in 2021?
Yeah, I struggle to see Billy Graham ever saying those words. I don't know John Bridges that well and what he said and what he didn't say. But this is absolutely something King Solomon would have said. I don't know if I could quote you which verse in Proverbs this exact rule is from, but he talks about money a good amount. Like that's what people need to understand about the Bible. People act like if you're a Christian, you read the Bible, you have to hate money. King Solomon, more than likely, is one of the wealthiest men to ever lived. Abraham, the father of all of Israelites, and then of course, the Jewish nation and Arab nations and all, the most populous people on the planet, was probably the wealthiest man that has ever existed, will ever exist, with the wealth that he acquired.
Purchasing power.
Right. So the Bible absolutely talks about the wisdom of money, and Solomon talks about it a lot. So I'm going to assume that this is Solomon. A fool and his money are soon parted. I'll tell you in chat, without Googling it, I would love for you guys to post what verse you think this is from and see if you're right. But I'm going with C, King Solomon.
All right, here we go.
Really?
Yep. So Dr. John Bridges.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was yes. So thank you, Mom, for this awesome factoid.
Listen, she got me. That was a trickaroo, because I guarantee you there's something in Proverbs that echoes that sentiment, but it must not have been those exact words.
Yes. So exactly that.
Yeah.
Bridges was inspired by King Solomon in Proverbs, but it wasn't a direct quote. It was actually a riff off of a different person, Thomas Tusser, in 1573. In a book, he said, "A foolish person spends money too quickly on unimportant things," which is a similar sentiment. We are over time here in the Investing Bros, getting into our theology.
Listen,
quotes.
I have to applaud Mama Shrum. I didn't think she was a trickster, I didn't think she was coming with trickster. I thought it was straight down the middle. Here's what I'll say. Fool me once, no shame in this case, but it would be shame on you. But no shame. Fool me twice though. If Mama Shrum comes up with another one, I'm gonna be looking for that left curve in the question. So, Mama Shrum, good question. Mm-hmm. Good factoid of the day. I think that's a great note. I mean, that's the Tim thought of the day. As we wrap this up, one of the cool things about Solomon, even though he wasn't the right answer, if you guys don't know much about the Bible, there's a period of time when he became king, and God asked him, "What do you want? I will give you anything you want." Or told him, "What do you want? Whatever you have, I'll get it for you. Do you want the wealth? Do you want power? Do you want strength? Do you want anything?" And what Solomon said was he wanted wisdom. He could have asked for an army. He could have asked for money. He could have asked for so many things, and he would have been given whatever he wanted, but he asked for wisdom. And I want to tell you why that's so amazing. Because he was wise enough before getting the ultimate wisdom to understand that if you hold wisdom, you can hold whatever you want. Now, things and treasures might change. Not all of us are going to be billionaires. Not all of us need to even acquire massive amounts of wealth. Some people in here just want to acquire enough wealth to continue to put food on their table so they can continue to serve their communities and their God however they want to serve. But there's something to say. If you want to achieve greatness, if you want to achieve peace, happiness, wealth, seek wisdom. Whether you're a Christian or not, go crack open the book of Proverbs, because this is a book of the Bible that is not only used by Christians, businessmen all over the planet use the words of Solomon to build their businesses. Seek wisdom, and a lot of other things will be added to you. That's the wisdom of the day. I'll tell you this, wisdom says, serve your God, serve your country, serve your family. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Adios.